Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, June 21st. This is a weekly wrap. All right, so it's been a while. We didn't come with this weekly analysis. So last week, we were talking about escalation, geopolitical tension in Middle East, and unfortunately, that happens. That was a pretty hard time for Middle East, especially Iranian people. Let's get started with S&P 500. This is a weekly chart, and we got kind of like a bear reversal to the downside on a stochastic momentum index. And also, here's the RSI trend line. We were focusing on this for the past few weeks, and I just mentioned that we broke above this, but we may see some kind of like a pullback as a like a correction. And the price action so far is kind of like a confirming that. So if you see this, you're gonna see this is kind of like the second rejection at the top. So here's the top, and then we may go down to this area to 58 to 5700. So that could be the possibility for a correction, especially this gap is going to be lots of support here around this 56 to 5700. So anyway, if you slice it and dice it, I would say for the first for the next few weeks, potentially until the first week of July. We may see some kind of like a correction. My timing is 21st to 29th. That could be kind of like a volatile time for the market. We may go down, but first the week of July, I would say we are going to see the bottom for the market for the next rally to the upside. Going to the daily charts, the daily chart is telling me that exactly the same scenario here. We got kind of like a correction to SMA 20, and then this wedge already broken. So this is a rejection. On Friday session, we got bullish Harami, but kind of like a sharp rejection at the top. It's going down. Intraday session was positive, close positive, but I would say this is just a dead cat bounce and nothing more. We may see some kind of like a choppiness, but going down to this area, that could give us a great buying opportunity. This is a gap here, 57 to 5800. This is the box that I have, and we may go kind of like a long position after that for a new all-time high. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to Nasdaq is the same scenario. Nasdaq just got rejected last week as well. So here's the weekly chart. We got kind of like a top information here, and we may go down to 20,000 to 20,800. That's the possibility. Even if we go further down to 19,800, I would say we are not going to go below that one. So potentially 20,000, that's going to be a good trench. And it's going to be a 1,500 a downtick for the Nasdaq, which is going to give us kind of like a 5% correction, 3 to 5% correction, which is healthy. If you go to daily charts, the daily chart is the same. So we got kind of like the rejection. I know we got bullish Harami, but this bullish Harami with rejection is not a strong signal here. And we may see some kind of like a choppiness down the road to this area to 20,000 to 21,000. 20,700 to 21,000, even 20,400. It could be the scenario that we may go back up again to potential new all-time high. So all in all, I should say when I see indexes, we're going to see for the next few weeks a correction. And that correction could give us a good buying opportunity. Dow is the same. So we got kind of like a consolidation. However, declines actually or shadows on the top is forming here. We may go down to 40,000 to 41,000. And I would say 41,000 is the area that market is going to sit, and you're going to see potential high 40,000 for a bottom of the correction, and then getting back to the upside. As you see here, we got a bear reversal on stochastic momentum indicator, which is RSI, is just getting above 50%. Still, we are far away from the overbought condition, which is going to be the bullish rally. So right now, we may see some kind of like a correction, and then getting back to the upside could give us a kind of like a buying opportunity. Daily chart is the same. So we got kind of like a bull reversal in the daily chart. We got kind of like a trigger. But I don't think we are done with the correction, actually. We may see some kind of like a choppiness going to the downside, potentially to 40,800 to 41,400. That's the bottom that I'm just looking at, potentially for the next few days. So Dow could have like a shallow correction compared to the other ones. Moving on to gold. Gold obviously based on geopolitical tensions is forming. You see that for the past few days, gold doesn't move actually higher. This means we are gonna see some kind of like an ease on the geopolitical tensions. That's gonna be the ease, and after just sitting to 32 to 3300, we may go another potential rally to 3600. So that's the bottom line that I have. Like a gold could give us kind of like ease for the next 2, 3 weeks, but be careful, be mindful on July, just because July timeframe we may see another spike. The same as silver here. So we got kind of like a breaking through to the downside. We got below this wide range bar here, and 3563. So 3476, that could be kind of like the scenario that for a correction, even lower, 3300, not 100, $33 could be kind of like um, the maximum downside target for silver. So if it goes here to 3484, if it goes here to 3375, that could be the scenario that we're seeing. Um, as I said before, this could be a great buying opportunity because I have target for silver 40 to 44 this year. So we might see some kind of like a spike is coming. Moving on to crude. Crude is just forming a very nice pattern here. The pattern is we are challenging this trend line, and we kind of like have a breakout going down, and still sellers are here because of this institutional level. We may see again, because of the geopolitical tension ease, we may see some kind of like, because the diplomacy and negotiation is coming, which I don't think it's gonna happening in a peaceful way. Unfortunately, I'm just seeing everything coming at the same time that US is gonna involve in this war, but not potentially not this week. So that could give us kind of like the correction or ease for crude. It depends on the news, but this is the maximum downside target. Crude can go even to here to 69, 68 and getting back to the upside. Even $70 could hold. Right now, 75, so we may see another potential $5 down for crude to get poised for another rally. So this is a very kind of like deep correction. I don't think this is gonna be very, very feasible scenario. I just put it there for just the sake of analysis. Um, the better kind of like a forecast for crude is going to be this one, this area. So we can have this 69 to $70. This is a demand area. This is a wide range bar. We may go down here to here and then getting back to the upside. So I would say again, July, we may see some kind of like spike in lots of commodities. And I don't know if it's going to be the war, it's going to be the Fed kind of like a rate cut, or another news. But charts are telling me that we may see some kind of like a correction and then getting back to the upside. Moving on to individual names, let me just bring the chart of Bitcoin here because that's very, very important to start with Bitcoin. And as you see here, Bitcoin is just forming a double top formation. The same pattern, something like this, is forming. And when we get below this institutional level, we got backtest here going down for a deeper correction. Right now, we are seeing the same scenario here. If we go below this 100,000, which is going to be psychological level, and also middle of this wide range bar, any kind of like breaking through, we may see some kind of like a pullback for a deeper correction to the downside. The first downside target is going to be 94 to 96,000. But if it doesn't hold, we may go to 90,000, even 8,800. Sorry, 88,000. That's the level that I'm looking at for ultimate bottoming formation. I don't think we are going to get there. Potentially 94,000 to 96,000 could be the bottom. But if it doesn't hold, I would say 88,000 to 90,000 would be a great buying opportunity for Bitcoin, because after that, I would say Bitcoin can just going higher like the other stocks and indexes. Ethereum is the same. So we got kind of like a bullish consolidation. We got breaking through to the upside, but going down. 2391, I would say 2000 to 2200 is the level that we have for Ethereum for a downside move. Bond yield is just down, close below 4%, 3.90. Still bull flag, but I don't surprise actually. I wouldn't surprise to see if this one fell to the downside, especially when there is kind of like, as you see in the media, especially on Friday, President Trump just the bullying Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell, and he said probably he's going to fire him or he's going to ask board to fire him. So that's kind of like the news. If Powell, for whatever reason, he's just getting under pressure of the rate cut, or if he's getting fired, bond yield is going to go down because everyone knows that the next chairman is going to just ease off the rate. And TLT is going to spike up as well. Here is the TLT 86, 87. I would say this one can go higher, especially to 93, 94. VIX at the same time forming a bullish consolidation here. We may see some kind of like a choppiness, but ultimately I'm just looking for a spike to 27 to 29.30. I don't know yet, but it could be the potential scenario. Dixie, the same pattern here, just forming a nice consolidation here. We may see a pop to 100 level, but ultimately it can go down lower, and a lower dollar, I would say, is coming down the road. Apple, it's just going down up on Friday session, which was quite surprising because this one is the best among the other FANG name. We are going to cover the other ones, Max 7 stocks as well. So Apple just a whole Nasdaq in positive territory, close above 200 on weekly candle. However, still looking for 185 to 190 for ultimate buying opportunity. Amazon, you see that at the same time just going down, just kind of like a following my path. I don't know if it's going to go down all the way to 190 to 196. 200 is psychological level. It may hold there, but correction is underway, and that's going to be good buying opportunity for Amazon. The same as Meta here. We got 656 and 640, 630. That could be the scenario for the bottom. Microsoft, we got kind of like a bearish engulfing at the top. If it continues, we're going to see a correction. Potentially the downside target 440 to 450 is coming down the road. Google, that was the worst among Max 7. So this one going down slaughtered 166. And I would say the maximum downside target for Google is going to be 156 to 160, nothing more than that. And we may see the bottom for the next rally, ultimately to here to this area, 180 to 187. Still looking for this area. We may get close to this, but it couldn't just recapture it. It's just going down after that. Netflix just going down and up, and these two shadows here tells me that we are going to see potential a downside target is coming down the road around 1040 to 1080. Tesla, bullish consolidation. We got positive candle, barely positive on Friday. This is a bullish consolidation, but we may see some kind of like a pullback to 300 and then getting back to the upside. Still looking for 380 to 400 for Tesla is coming down the road. SMH, semiconductor index, it's just going down, and I know this is bullish consolidation, but if it goes down, we may see some kind of like a 230 to 236 is coming down the road. Stocks, the same pattern going down, and I believe that it can go lower to 205, 210. Nvidia is the same, 126, 128 could be the possible downside target for Nvidia. So we may see some kind of like a correction down the road. AMD is just pretty close to my target. Actually, no, it just hit the target. The timing was wrong, but the target was hit here. So this is kind of like the first scenario. You see that here. AMD, this is a breaking through to the downside, back test, sharp decline. So right now we got into this level. This is a bullish structure, folks. So we may see some kind of like a correction potentially to 116 and then getting back up again to 134, ultimately 155, 160. This is the gap that I'm looking at for AMD. Remember, we were buying this in this area a lot. So our average is below 100. We are nicely in positive territory, and we're looking for pullback to add more. Moving on, Taiwan Semiconductor here, 209.51. Close, and Taiwan can go down to 195. Texas Instrument forming kind of like a bearish pattern, not bullish. If it holds this 194, it can go higher, but I don't I doubt about it. So we may go down to this area as well. Lamb research are going down here. I would say 84 to 86 is coming down the road. XLF, which is financials, closed positive on Friday, but the pullback could be the scenario for them to 48 to 49. KBE, the same pattern here. It can go down to 50 to 51. KRE, 52 to 54. That could be the scenario. JP Morgan, we got positive, but this is kind of like a double top here. We may go down to 250 to 54. Goldman Sachs, 640. That's the area that we have. Bank of America, we got pop, but getting to lots of resistance here. And Wells Fargo getting pop as well. So lots of resistance top there as well. Moving on to gold miners, which is confirming the gold price can go down because they are heading down sharply. And they may go down to potential this white range bar, even this consolidation area. There are lots of levels. I would say 47 could be the scenario for GDX to stop downside. GDXJ, the same one, actually it's just accelerating to the downside. We may go down to 61, 62. AEM, Agnico Eagle, is just 108. This is the area that I have for a correction. If it holds this area, which I doubt, it can go back up as like a consolidation, but I doubt if it holds here. Newmont is the same. It's just seeing the tweezer top here. If the industry goes down, this one can go down here as well. So 52 to 54. XLE, which is a consolidation here, just the energy market is just getting back to the upside. And if we may see a correction to the downside, that could be just a correction to this area to 85, and then getting back to the upside to this gap here. Exxon, we got to the first target here, 114, 116 area. So we may see some kind of like a correction to this top here, 110. Getting back to the upside, potentially, I'm just looking for 122, 124 for Exxon down the road. CVX, Chevron, last stock for today, just going back up. Nice consolidation. We may see some kind of like a pullback potentially to this top here. So it's not going to be a huge one. I would say it's going to be shallow one, even 144. But after that, we may see another escalation to the upside to 161. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.